Okay, so we're back. Shiyu defenses. I was about to say deadly assault for some reason. Um, yeah, we're doing Shiyu defense. We are gonna see um, what's up here. So I guess, and before we start this one, I'll probably show. I mean, I'll probably make a video doing a follow up on these because a lot of people are having trouble with the Discordant Vesper. Um, I just like said to heck with it, and I just took Yeshing Wong in there. And she just stomps it out anyway, so it's not that big a deal. And not to mention, I mean, like, I didn't do a lot of explaining in that first video. Partially, even if I did explain, I forgot that the audio wasn't balanced right, so like you couldn't hear a lot of what I was saying during the fight. But anyway, yeah, there's not a whole lot to explain with her. Now, there's more to explain, like with more people who are more skilled, but like most of it is just the fact that like the control skills are kind of annoying. But as someone who does nothing but play, go away, stop it. As someone who does nothing but play like Hollow Zero all day, I mean it's not that like. Let's see, I'm not showing off that hardcore, but what's this? Well, yeah, you can see that there. I have almost all these plus 10. Um, where okay, plus 2 here. I'm working on this as the last one, but I'm trying to max that all out. Where do I look for R3? So I have most of these done. Lost Void. The Withered Domain, I actually use those tickets on this because I don't like doing this one. It's kind of boring and annoying. But this one, like I said, Survey, I do this one manually. And again, my favorite, I like that other one a little more. But I kind of like this one more because this one's less annoying. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up isn't just to show off. It's because, like I said, it's just to show you that I play this game mode a lot. This one specifically because that one was newer, so we just got it. But the reason I bring this one up is because there's a modifier here. Uh, Gold and red prompts are no longer whatever, right? Um, so the point being is just that like I'm used to fighting bosses that don't have those prompts. Um, Not that I'm very good at it, just I'm used to it. So the control phase wasn't that bad. That really wasn't the thing that tripped me up because I got most of the points every run that you guys saw in that video. I got most of those points. Um, because the points you get are from the control skill. So when you do control skill, you parry the control skill, you get 350. So I got all the points from that. There's just some control sections I don't. When they're not even control sections, like when she's like flying up in the sky around the arena, you can't really hit her. She sends clones at you. That's like the main one I didn't parry very much because you don't have to. But it's recommended that you do because the more of those you parry, the sooner she gets down from there, and the sooner you can start wailing into her. So anyway, like I said, I might make a video doing a follow up. Not exactly teaching because teaching and all that stuff isn't really what this channel's for. It's mainly just for you guys to see like what a average-ish player is. Um, yeah, so we're gonna do electric and physical attack. So I mean, obviously, I'm probably just gonna go with Sambi here. Aether Veil and Agent, sheer damage. Obviously, this is funny because we've talked about this in other deadly assaults, but like, gosh damn, every time this guy shows up, I see the fire and it says rupture, and my brain goes, "Oh, fire rupture! Clearly, I gotta take Minato into this." And then I struggle to hit 20 for like days on end, and then I'm just like, "Oh, wait a minute! I could just bring Yishuan into this, and she hits 25 easy, right?" So the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's probably what I'm going to do here if it's a rupture specific. Um, but maybe not because I might have to use something here. So because he's physical, attacks ignore. Yeah, because he's physical, weak or she or whatever, and the Aether Veil gives me all damage res reduction. So I reduce 15% of their damage resistance, like whatever element. It's okay not to have the agent sheer damage increase and the agent sheer damage increase by another. So we're missing 25% sheer damage increase, but that's okay because in this instance, I'm probably just gonna bring Yashing Wong, and I think she's just gonna stomp it out anyway. So That's what I'm doing here. Zheshing Wang goes here. Down here, I'm probably bringing... yeah, I'm probably just bringing Yishuan. Now, there's a team I've been focusing on using lately, so we might see what we do here. Up here, I think I'm gonna bring her this team, but we're gonna replace you with you. We'll save and exit. Please don't get rid of that team. Yeah, okay. So that's what we're bringing up there, because down here, I've been using this team quite a bit lately, especially because it's Ether Week. We're going to go here.
Once upon a time, I just wanted to be a cook.
What am I doing? I forgot. I'm like completely lost. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm dumb. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're actually going to use Zhao here because she has Aether Veil. To get Zhao's second ability, we're going to have to do a support, which is... Who did I have in mind? I'm like scatterbrained right now. Oh, we're going to steal her. Again, not super beneficial because her 40% defense shred doesn't help Yishuan at all, but the 25% ether damage bonus is good, plus the fact that she doesn't do great damage, but she does all right damage, right? Plus the entire team-wide crit chance buff isn't too bad either. So we're probably going to do this here. Because Yishuan isn't using Dylan, that opens me up to do... And we're probably going to need this team to be as good as humanly possible. I'm probably putting Dylan... Where is she? She's at the top because she's favorited. There she is. Okay, so we're going to go here. Down here, it messed up this team, so we're going to go... the Aether Veil isn't super useful. You don't need it, but, I mean, it certainly helps. So I'd like to have an Aether Veil here somewhere. Which leaves me this team up here. Which I've been running this, which is kind of stupid. Because obviously Yuza's second ability doesn't work, but her second ability isn't that important. So her main thing is 1200 attack, which is ridiculous. She also does all her little whatevers. Where are they? Sweet Scare. These candy shot things that she does off field, I think they're counted as aftershocks, something like that. Let's look at all this. Like, you expect me to read all this? Aftershock. All right. There's candy shots considered aftershock. So, not ideal. Not like, I don't know why that's in there, but it's in there. And the fact that it's in there means that Sambi boosts it a little bit, I think. Does this give you crit damage? Okay, so she gains 50% extra aftershock damage from this. The reason I wanted to go check is because Sambi's regular passive takes some of her crit damage and gives it to the unit, but because Yuzuha doesn't have any crit chance on her own, the extra crit damage that Sambi gives her is meaningless, so don't worry about that. But the 50% damage bonus is pretty good. Again, it's kind of irrelevant because at the end of the day, when we finish the run and I see the damage percentage, Yuzuha does like 1%, Trigger does like maybe 5 or 10, and then Sambi does the rest. So boosting her damage by 50% is like 50% times 0 is still 0, right? So this is her build. This is what she's going with. This is her build. What's going on with her? This is her build. What's going on with her? So we're going to do this just because, again, the 1200 attack boost is ridiculous. Plus, she also gives out... Let's see. Somewhere in here, it does something. I can't even... Oh, so 1200 attack plus the damage dealt is increased by 15%, so 15% all damage buff. Plus, on top of that, the 18 from this, as well as the 25 from this. So, she's still pretty useful. All we're missing, the main thing we're missing, of course, is the this down here, which is build-up rate. Who cares? Anomaly damage and disorder damage. Again, who cares? And so for anybody who's curious, as you see here, I have a +1 Yuzuha. That's because I'm doing this strategy where every time like so Yuzuha came out, I was like, okay, I could use a copy of Yuzuha, but I'm not gonna pull for her a second one. So when her banner came, I just did a 10 pull and I got her in the first 10 pull. So I was 80 or 90 away from pity. I did one 10 pull and I got her, and I was like, okay, well, there we go, and then we move on. So that's what I'm gonna do going forward. Like if a unit comes out and I'm like, I could kind of use a dupe of that unit, or I can kind of like when Orphe comes out, I'm probably gonna drop a 10 pull on her and then move on. If I get her, cool. If not, I don't, because this is like copium math. It's probably like mathematically stupid, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because it's like, okay, Yuzuha came out. I spent 10 on Yuzuha. I got her in 10 pulls. Awesome. I didn't. Then I didn't, and my pity's down 10 lower. So basically, what that means is that every unit, if I do 10 pull on every unit, and the units that I do get the 10 pull on, I only spent 10 on that unit, right? So for her, I only spent 10. Orphe, I only spent 10. If I don't get Orphe, that's cool. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, like I said, if there's a unit that comes out and I kind of want it, I'm probably just going to drop a 10 pull and then move on. Now, there's some that I really do need. So when Orphe comes out, I'll probably drop a 10 pull on Orphe. And then when, what's her name? Lucia comes out, I'm actually going to have to pull for Lucia because Yishuan, that's like the last piece of her whatever, and she needs Aether Veil because the whole game is like, the whole metagame right now is around Aether Veil, and having a Rupture-specific Aether Veil is valuable. But yeah, so that's kind of the main thing. Like I said, I just dropped the 10 pull on her and I got her, so, you know, whatever. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this also works for her. First of all, when she comes in, she gets 30 extra energy, which means, and Deadly Assault, one of the most irritating things with Yuzuha is you have to wait a little bit to activate her EX special because she has to build up energy. But now this patches that up, so whether you're doing Deadly Assault or Shiyu defense or whatever, she always has the EX special ready to go. So the first thing you do is EX special. Now everyone's running around with a 1200 attack bonus and a 15% damage buff and whatever else, right? Additionally, this helps Sambi, and any team who uses her is helped by this because their all attribute resistance is reduced by 10. So lightning damage does 10% more damage. That's not a direct correlation, but the point being is that their lightning resistance is reduced by 10%, which is fantastic. And then attribute anomaly and the damage buff from her. The reason I like this is because this patches up missing her weapon, because her weapon gives her 30 anomaly mastery. Her weapon gives her 30 anomaly mastery that brings us up to 200. And once you get 200, that's how you get the maximum of this buff. You have to get 200. Right now, the max is 20. So with her weapon, she gets all 20. But because I don't have her weapon, my buff is capped at 14%. So 14% build-up rate and 14% anomaly and disorder damage. But 30%, a third of 14, a third of 12 is 3, right? 3-ish. So a third of 14 is maybe 4-ish, something like that. Well, you can multiply because 14, a third of 14 is what? 1.4 times 3 is 3, 12. So 4.2. So with her M1, it brings me up to 18.2 percent anomaly buildup and anomaly damage and disorder damage, right? So this brings me up to 18.2. It patches up some of her what her weapon gives her, on top of the fact that it gets all these other benefits. So if it's between her and her weapon, I kind of want to pull for her because her weapon doesn't really like make her that much better because this weapon is close enough in terms of performance. So I'd rather have the extra benefits that her M1 gives her. Not to mention, having the M1 means that you're that one step closer to the M2, and the M2 is about, again, mathematically, you could probably go look this up and you'll get the thing. But to me, to me, they're both about the same, right? Like in terms of how valuable they are. But having 1 and 2 is in total is what you want. You want her to have her the 3 sets. So eventually, I want to get this. My strategy didn't work out as good as I wanted it to of one at a time because I'll show it afterwards. But I'm like 40 summons deep into her banner again, on the hope of like, oh, maybe I'll get her in the next 10 pull, whatever, right? I'm not gonna go. Hopefully I can restrain myself to not go all the way. But I threw in like 2 or 3 more 10 pulls because it's like, maybe I could get another one. Which, again, I kind of baited myself into that, but, whatever. Like I said, I got her in 1 10 pull, threw in 2 or 3 more. It's not that big a deal. But let's go see it. Who do I want to do first? But these teams are pretty much set up. Again, the reason I'm going with the bunny here is because she has a 40%, in my case, it's 35% damage bonus from her passive, and then another 18% from her weapon. 35 plus 18 is 45, 53% damage buff. And and then 1,000 attack plus the Aether Veil. The 1,000 attack doesn't help Yishuan that much, but it helps more than not. So that's that. Let's see. So I'm probably just gonna go with, man. I haven't played Yishuan, Dialin, and Sunna in like forever, so this team might be kind of rough, but we'll see how we do there. We'll just go here. We'll just showcase Sambi and Yuza. Again, not the best, not the most optimal, but this Yuza's buffs are so exaggerated that it's like, you can't go wrong with them anyway. So we're just gonna send it on this. I don't know why I was waiting for the quick assist. I keep forgetting that I don't have to like. I keep forgetting that it's like you just gotta like send it. No! I hate when the corpses get in the way, man. It's so irritating. Shiyu, I don't really like the new Shiyu defense, not on the grounds of like free-to-play or whatever, because some people are complaining that we're losing some free-to-play whatever because like you need so many teams now. That's not really my main concern. My main concern with Shiyu defense now is it makes you play really sloppily. It's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily force you, but I don't know, just the way it works to me kind of encourages sloppy play. Because, you gotta time your ults, you gotta do this, that, and the other. But the first wave just makes it so that you just have to just send it. No matter what's happening, just send it. Don't worry about whatever, just send it. So you don't save your ults for the later phase. Like, if you have your ult in that first phase, just burn it. Like, don't worry about later. But again, it's not to say that I'm not concerned about the free-to-play aspects. I am still kind of concerned about that. It does really suck that was like, this game mode is getting a little worse. Now, am I going to say that it's totally bad? You might still be able to get all the polychrome rewards without, whatever S ranking it, like S plus ranking it. But it still sucks that that to be endgame. Well, it is, what's the word? It's like, it sucks at the endgame. It's kind of leaning more towards, like, the monetary aspect. Because, again, you do need 3 full teams. So if someone could be good enough to do this game mode and finish the whole thing or whatever. See, look at this. She does 7% of the damage, whatever. That 7%, how much of that is her aftershock damage? I don't even know, right? But some of it's boosted by Sambi's her new buff. But there you go. So 40,000, we're in pretty good standing because I'm pretty sure the Yishuan team is just going to destroy that next one, and then the Yexing Wan is going to destroy. Oh my gosh, and it erased my teams again. The Yexing Wan team is probably going to destroy this guy, and then the Yishuan team is probably going to destroy this guy. S rank. Yeah. So anyway, the point being is that you do need 3 teams to do this, but I am curious. Like I said, how difficult or easy it is to triple S this. With limited resources, like as a new player. Again, these are supposed to be endgame modes, but like, there's nothing endgame about them in terms of your skill. It's just, have you been playing for a year? Because that's about how long it takes to get 3 fully equipped teams. Not only that, but they have to be fully equipped, like, specific teams, right? Because if I just had, if all I had was 3 teams at minimum, then I wouldn't be able to swap units around. I wouldn't have like enough coverage for all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like even now, I've been playing this game for almost a year, maybe more now. I don't exactly know, but I've been playing this game for a long time, and I'm barely have enough coverage for everything. I'm still struggling with ice because I didn't pull for Miyabi, which again, that's my fault. But coverage is still an important thing. Again, you can brute force a lot, especially with Yixing Wang. Like when Miyabi came out, she just brute forced everything. You didn't have to care about coverage. But now, as the game is starting to become more niche and like evolving the meta, you do have to get more coverage. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Let's go. Again, I showed off the builds for Sambi and whatever, so there's that. I'm gonna show off the builds here for this one. I'm going too far. Put her.
Achieving.
Okay. I use Bellion here. I should probably use Excalibur, but Bellion's stats and his like damage just outpaces Excalibur even without his second ability active. Which, as you see there, I have him on 2 stars. I'm just gonna pull for. I'm gonna keep pulling until I get the 3-star, and then I'm probably just gonna stop pulling for him because at that point, the newer Bang Boos right here, most Bang Boos like this one, right? Take this one for example. It says you need 2 of this, but the newer gen will say 2 at the beginning, but once you get 3 copies to the when you get them to the 3-star, this will reduce to 1, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. But anyway, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna keep him there. So we're gonna go over the builds. 58 crit chance, 250, 2500 sheer force, that much HP, and then 170 crit damage. This is her stats. I got really lucky with these 3 pieces. I used the discs the other day to make this. This is like perfect. I can't even like. There's no way I can complain. The only way this could have been better is because it started off with 3 stats and then 1 stat created the pen, so I wasted 1 there. But otherwise, everything went where I wanted to. So fantastic. This needs a better piece, and then there's that. She could use a little better, but if you look at all these pieces, they're all pretty good. So it's kind of hard to like replace any of them. Like if I got 1 more. Like if this right here went into this instead, this piece would get me where I'd want it to. Honestly, if all these rolls went into this, that'd be fantastic. But I think I might be able to hit the max HP. But looking at all this again, these pieces are all pretty good. That attack percentage could have rolled into HP, but it's just splitting hairs at that point. The point being is that at this much HP, I'm like 100 away from hitting. At 25,000, I think you're at 35% damage buff from this bottom one right here. I think at 25 you're at, yeah, I think. Yeah, at 25 you're at 35% damage buff. At 25.4, which I hit, I'm at 36. So I'm 100 HP away from hitting 37%, and then I'm 3% off of the max. Eventually, the more I grind out, eventually I'll get her HP to the max. To max out her buff. But for now, it's not that big a deal because like I'm okay. Ugh. Right now, I'm okay losing that like 5, 3, 4, 5, however much percentage HP. I'm okay losing that because I gain 18% off of just having this weapon, plus more days potential. So it's not that big a deal. And then lastly, we're looking at Nicole. Nicole's crit chance is 57, plus her passive of a 15% crit chance brings her up to 72% crit chance, 88 crit damage. Not too bad. Did I swap this piece? No. These are her stats. This could use more crit rate. Everything could use more crit rate, honestly. But yeah, that's that. And then, obviously, with her, again, her most optimal weapon for most teams is actually just running Kaboom the Cannon. But because you're running her, a lot of times I end up running her with Yixuan. The 17% damage, just flat damage buff from this weapon helps Yixuan a lot more. So we'll just get in there. And that was a lot of explaining for no reason. I think we're probably like 20 minutes into the video, yeah. So I got to pick up the pace a little. So we're at 40k at the top, around 40k. Which gives us leeway for these.
Allow me. Let's make this quick. Step back. Let me handle this. Concentrate. I'm here. What a nuisance. Obliterate form and spirit.
So you just burn the ult because you really need to kill this guy as soon as possible.
An opening.
My turn now?
Fortunately, Yushuan has a lot of quick swaps, so I can swap this in while Yushuan's doing that like dumb animation. Swap into her.
Inadequate.
One of the things with this team, you really have to make sure you're like you're constantly activating. Oh, come on. Nicole's bubble whenever you can. Because that bubble, the buff from her passive only lasts as long as that briefcase debuff is up there. And the buff from her weapon only lasts as long as about that bubble. So, like, making sure that bubble stays up constantly is, like, a huge chore that you have to kind of manage. It's one of the other reasons why, it's kind of one of the reasons why I like her weapon on her. Because her weapon also gives her even more energy regen. The main stat on her weapon is energy regen.
Let me give you a
Oh, I messed up. That was supposed to be done now. Oh, well, worked out. And the way, look at that! That was pro as heck! The way Nicole just has so much energy to quick swap constantly, makes it so that you can really maintain,
strength and finesse.
the Astral Voice buff.
Reality and illusion. Obliterate.
So you wanna hit the ult when that bubbles up as much as possible.
Shall be purged.
Again, the defense shred isn't helping out very much, but you know, whatever. And we killed him with this one. Look at her, she's flying. I like a lot of the bunny girl Zhao. I like her a lot, but when you're playing her, you can't really spend a lot of time on her to admire like her animations or just like her little goofiness, because it just takes up too much time. But as you can see here, she did a decent amount of damage, a lot more than her. But again, it's because it's Ether Week. You get a bunch of bonuses and all that kind of stuff. So, you know. Yeah. I don't know how accurate this would be to say, but like honestly, when you're considering Nicole, like Nicole by herself can almost like completely stack up the Astral Voice buff just by like as long as you every time her EX specials she has enough EX special energy, as long as she has enough energy and you just swap into her and send it, you should be able to maintain her like an Astral Voice just with Nicole alone, which is how it's insane how awesome that is. This is her set, all her stuff. I'm running her on pen ratio just because I'm lazy. You should probably run like a crit damage set here. What's it called? The honestly, what I could do is probably run something like. It might even, you know what? It might even be worth sacrificing. How much crit damage chance? I have way too much crit chance now. Well, something like this, but like I said, I have way too much crit chance already, so I kind of have to stick to running this. Anyway, the point being that it might be worth just running like pen ratio, this piece that I just took off her, a pen ratio branch and blade song thing. When you have pen ratio, you kind of want to stack more. So if I'm running a pen ratio in the slot 5, I kind of it pushes me towards wanting to run the 2-piece to get that 8% more. But it might just be worth sacrificing the 8% pen ratio for 16% more crit damage. Again, her damage formula and her optimization is kind of all over the place, so you take it as you will. Honestly, again, traditionally, this is probably better. So this is a crit chance +2, so it's a +3, 4, 5 total score. Where is the piece I'm looking for? Is it right here? Okay, this might honestly be better on Yishuan. because again, we're overcapping crit chance. At 93% crit chance is still not too bad, and we're getting a huge crit damage boost. But I don't know. I'm just, like I said, the math. I'm like too like pulled towards the math, and the math is telling me that here this is only a +4, right? Because it only has this. The fact that we have crit chance and attack percentage on here, we're getting more stats out of this, is kind of pulling me towards this direction. But again, it's probably minimal in terms of how
Today. Maybe
whatever.
we could here.
This is one of my favorite builds. Almost 100% with this weapon. I'm pretty sure I have more stun capability than her own weapon, and losing the 30% crit damage that her weapon gives, to me, honestly, it's like I don't care. Like, I'd rather keep this much stun potential than gain an extra 30% damage buff. And with her, obviously, I don't have her thing. I switched to this so she can get her max buff, because otherwise I had her on this here, the Swing Jazz 2-piece for more energy. But her energy, I haven't perceived her to have any energy issues so far, and I just want to max out her buff anyway. As you can see, there's no attack on this piece. So if I had attack on this piece, I'd probably be running the 2-piece Swing Jazz. But to get her max buff, I have to run the 2-piece Astral Voice. But as soon as I get better Swing Jazz pieces, the problem is nobody grinds for Swing Jazz anymore because it's not very useful. But as soon as I get 2 decent Swing Jazz pieces, they're going to go on her. And then if I can get the 2 Swing Jazz with her max buff, then I'm just going to keep it like that. But for now, we're doing this just because why not?
Before we bounce.
We need to hit 30. I'm pretty sure I can hit 30, but I don't know. I mean, I better hit 30. I'm using Yixuan, the most broken, or Yixing Wang, most broken unit in this game, plus like her most broken team. So damn straight I better be doing good at this. Yixuan makes me lazy. Oh, I messed up. We're just gonna start over. The thing is, you have to have enough energy for dial-in to hit all 3 at the same time. Because if he doesn't hit all 3, sometimes you don't have enough energy to come back to her and then hit the final one. Because the final one is the important one. Hitting that final one is what gives you the stun damage multiplier, as well as what was the other thing? It gives you the 40% damage buff that is already in Dylan's kit. So this that took way too long. This is taking way too long. I think what I have to do. Oh, that was foolish of me. We're still gonna hit it. I'll have to come back on my own time and regrind this out. But the thing is, I didn't get the whatever on her, right? The buff. We're not gonna hit her with this, I don't think. Yeah, we're not. I hate this boss. But, well, basically, I hate any boss that has like a phase where they just sit around doing nothing. Like, half the reason I play this game is the way they design their bosses makes them really interactable. But like sitting around just like waiting for a boss to become vulnerable to me is like the laziest boss design ever. Like, what are we still playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, you know? Like, you would assume we've all evolved beyond that point, but here we are. That was kind of a waste. Again, it's hard to like be efficient with her like points, but whatever. We got 40k. That first wave was kind of lackluster, just because I didn't time everything right. But Yixuan is just so overpowered that it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't like bosses that make you sit around and wait for them to do stuff. 3%. They did pretty decent. And again, we got all of them, so that's all. 100,000 points. This week was actually pretty easy. When we have if this is an anomaly week, see here we had an attacker, a rupture, and another attacker. I think this one isn't attacker specific, but you can kind of tell it's like attack focused. This one's obviously rupture focused, and then this one's obviously attacker focused again. So it was attacker focused. The thing is, whenever there's like what's the word, anomaly focus, we kind of suffer because Jane Doe is my only anomaly unit, and she's not very good. Like as much as I love Jane Doe, as much as like everything I do is to make Jane Doe better, yeah, she's not very strong. So we're just gonna have to tough it out whenever those come by. But yeah, so far so good. Again, partially Yi Xuan is just so broken. If we look at the roster, I don't have to do this. I mean, the video's already done, so whoever's gonna leave would have left already.
This is the path.
But I'm trying to figure out like we have so many electric attackers. So if you have Harumasa, especially now that he's buffed, this should be pretty simple for you. Again, either that or like any physical. Like I'm pretty sure I could do this with. Well, maybe let's go look. So physical, more physical damage and crit damage, which doesn't matter. With attack specialties, this is attack specific. So again, Harumasa wouldn't be too bad. For some reason, Sissia, that snake lady, I think she's a snake lady. Anyway, the unit that comes after Ningguang is another electric attacker unit, which is drives me up the wall. So I don't know why we need another one. Like we already have, well, it's not that many, but we have Sambi. If you want to count Anton, he's a 4-star, but you know, we have Anton, Harumasa, and who was the other one? There was one more, I think. No, I guess that was, oh, and Seed. So Seed, Harumasa, Anton, and Sambi. I don't know, just the saturation of the attack type for this is ridiculous. When we only have one attacker for Aether damage, mind you, she's the only Aether attacker in the game, and she's insanely boring, which is the reason I don't have her. Ideally, I should probably summon for Arya because she'd like boost my anomaly coverage for quite a while, but I can't be asked. Yeah, I just don't care. I don't even know. That's hilarious. There's not a whole lot of primary anomaly units. There's not as many as I thought because we have Bernice, but she's kind of an assistant. She can be kind of main, but she's also kind of an assistant. She's not even an anomaly unit. Like she just has that moniker, but she's really just a crit damage regular attack scaler. Yeah, that's it. Just Jane mainly. Obviously, we have her, but she kind of just acts as like a Jane replacement. She's like a Jane power creep, so she fills the same slot Jane does. And then on top of that, we have Piper, which is already what Jane does, but like Jane power creeps Piper. And then Alice power creeps Jane. So all three of these occupy the same slot. Yes, I know that the M2 Jane, M2 Alice, and M2 Yuzuha is like the best team in the game. So them together is better. It's just one of those things where it's like if you can only afford one, your paths are kind of limited because you have 3 physical anomaly units, and everyone else, like no one else cares. Like there's no primary anomaly for her, for Aether, until we get to Arya. That's the whole point of Arya, was she was supposed to fill that role. But again, Vivian is an assistant character. Seth is another assistant character. Seth isn't even an anomaly unit. He's got a lot of stuff in here that helps him out with that. Like his weapon gives him anomaly application, but it's mainly just to cause like small disorders with Jane. But even then, it's just not super useful. Anyway, that's it for today. I think the next video I'm going to do is probably just showcasing me going over the Vesper again, maybe showing you guys how to do it with Yexing Wang or now. I mean, when I did it last time, I did not have the M1 Yuzuha. Now that I do have the M1 Yuzuha, we'll probably be able to hit the 20k using Jane Doe, Vivian, Yuzuha team. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that we'll hit it at that point, but we're still not going to outpace the Yexing Wang team. But yeah, so that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.